For Glory 19, I'll be fighting Robert Thomas from Canada. He's a young kid. He's 22 years old. He's really motivated. He takes really hard fights. I was a guy like that. I took hard fights. I always wanted to fight the best guys, so I respect that. It didn't work out too well for him last time, or the time after that. Probably won't work out this well for him this time around. He's a good fighter. He's got some things he's really good at. He's got some things he's missing. I'm gonna exploit his flaws on February 6th, and we'll see what happens. For this training camp, I've been out of town a lot. I've been going back and forth to Stockton, working with Nick Diaz for his fight, Anderson Silva. We brought in some really high-level sparring partners out there for Nick, so I've been getting a lot of sparring. I'm in great shape. It's just been a little different, working up there than here, but I'd say that's the only change. That everything else is the same. I'm working with the same coaches. I brought my coaches up there with me, so still same Joe Schilling. When you're at the top of the mountain, everybody wants to get there. So everybody I fight, if it's not, Artem Levin, is going to be somebody trying to build their name off me. He's the only one above me, and everyone's trying to get to that point. So I got to win fights. It doesn't matter who they are or when they are or what sport they're in. I have to win fights. I have goals for myself. In 2015, I'm going to be undefeated. And Robert Thomas is the first person on that list. I feel almost like I've been banging on the door trying to get in to the higher echelon, and now they open the door and I'm in, and it's even more pressure to perform it and to be successful now that I'm here. So 2015, I want to be undefeated. I was in the running for knockout of the year last year in 2 different sports, and I want to do that again this year and the year after that, and it all starts with Robert Thomas on February 6th. Yeah, I was on kind of a dry spell for knockouts there for a while. I was knocking everybody out earlier in my career, and then when I got into Glory, I hadn't knocked anybody out yet. I had some dominating fights, and some guys I didn't know how they didn't go down, I didn't knock them out. But it was kind of a dry spell, and it was a really good feeling when I knocked out Simon and the last man standing. It was a really big night for me.
You can see the fatigue on Marcus. That's why the mouth guard's coming out. Joe Schilling with the big right.
Right, and then I got the opportunity to fight Melvin. He's another world-class, kickboxer, and there was a lot of pressure. I had some stuff going on in that camp that was a little rough. My dad passed away like 3 weeks before the fight. My cousin passed away like 3 days later. It was a rough camp for me, and there was a lot of pressure on that night, and knocking out Melvin felt amazing, and the response from the fans and the media and how much publicity it got was a really good feeling.
Joe Schilling eats another left hand.
My coach Mark Kimura is left-handed, and I've been switching back and forth from orthodox to southpaw a lot over the last few years, and Mark really worked with me on that specific punch, switching out to southpaw and drop stepping to right hook. It worked perfect against Simon. It was just timed perfectly. He actually cracked me with the right hand at the same time, but mine landed better. And then with Melvin, Melvin always comes forward and rushes. And people either get scared of him and get ran over, or they throw with him, and usually when they throw with him, he runs into it. I got a lot more other punches besides that, but that's that one. That's how that goes. We'll see how many more people I can knock out with it this year, but it's definitely not my best punch, which is kind of scary. Yeah, they're calling me a 2-sport athlete now, and I never really thought about it that way, but it's cool. To me, a fight is a fight. I feel like I should win fights anywhere. If we fight in a cage, we fight in a ring, we fight in a parking lot, we fight in an elevator. I expect to win fights. Whether they take me down or not take me down. So punches hurt, and I felt them very well. So it was a great feeling knocking out both those guys. And I feel like after the dry spell of knockouts, I feel like there's a flood coming, and that's my 2015. 2015, it looks like that's a big possibility to fight Artem again. I have a lot of respect for Artem. He's a good guy. Nothing but respect for him. But yeah, he's the champion. Just like I said earlier about people wanting to take my spot, that's the spot that I want. And I think that fight will probably happen in 2015. But ultimately, my goal isn't necessarily to get that belt back. I'm not focused on the belt. I'm focused on putting on really exciting fights and going undefeated in 2015. I think if I do what I'm supposed to do, that belt will come and those opportunities will come, but I'm not focused on those. I'm focused on being the best Joe Schilling I can be. The first step is February 6th against Robert Thomas. Make sure you check out my fight February 6th, Glory 19, live on Spike TV. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be the best kickboxers in the world. We got a heavyweight fight. We got me beating up Robert Thomas. You got Mike Tyson eating apples, making jokes. It's going to be fantastic. Fantastic television, Spike TV.